Michelle, and today I've got for you a Pilates reformer workout using a maple pole, or whatever kind of pole your reformer hopefully came with. If you don't have one, maybe grab something similar in shape and size to this. Okay, we're going to use it threaded through our straps to get all kinds of nice workouts. We're going to get our arms, our abs going, a little bit of legs, lots of good stuff. Okay, if you have a platform extender, have that close by as well. If you don't, no worries, it's not necessary. Okay, but if you have it, keep it close by. And then we are going to get started, okay? So I'm going to start on one red and one blue spring, so a heavy and a medium. You may need to go a little heavier or a little lighter if you'd like, okay? Those lighter springs keep it a little bit more in our core, which is nice as well. So here's what we're going to do. We're going to lay down with the stick. So get your head between the shoulder rests, shimmy back, and then you're going to take your straps off of your shoulder rests. So if you have a choice of loops, I want you to thread the stick into the shorter of your two loops. If you don't have a choice, then just work with what you've got. The resistance will feel a little bit lighter if you don't have that second loop, okay? So just know that. You might have to adjust your springs. So we're going to get to a nice neutral spine, slight gap between the low back and the mat, unless you need to imprint to more effectively use those abdominals. So you're going to tabletop your legs one by one. You're going to have your hands directly on top of your shoulders, so your carriage is away from the stopper a little bit, okay? Now, all I want you to do here is just tap your elbows down to the carriage next to you and then reach them back up. So our machine isn't hardly moving at all, okay? We're just maintaining that resistance on the springs. Our ropes are staying nice and taut. Good, and we're just kind of warming up these lats, the underarm muscles, getting them ready to move. Yes, practice leaving your rib cage nice and heavy on the mat here. All right, now pause with your arms straight. We're going to press our arms down, and you'll notice the legs are going to have to straighten in order to fully pull the stick down, and then we're going to return. So that's the fun of doing these with the stick, is it forces us to lengthen the lever and reach the low body out. Very good. Now you can do this reaching the legs above your foot bar. Super challenging is to drop your heels to your seat and try to reach the feet under the foot bar. Whew, that's a lot of hip extension. You can alternate or stick with the one you like best. Now you can also be flexing the spine, popping your head up between the ropes, which feels really, really good with the stick. I think it helps us to connect to those shoulder blades coming apart to assist in that flexion. All right, now for our last one, you decide if you want to end up with your feet over or under the bar. Now just tap your ankles together 10 times. Good. 7, 6, keep those shoulder blades up and off. 3, 2, 1, and lay down. Whew. Going under the foot bar is no joke. All right, you guys, so next, we're going to bend our elbows out to the side, okay? So my elbows are almost matching up with the stick out next to me, okay? And I've got the straps about shoulder width apart, gripping them with my thumb so they don't slip around, okay? So I bring the bar to my chest. Now, lift your legs back up again. Now, I want you to imagine that this is almost like a scanner, okay? It's just gonna scan all the way down, staying as close to you as it can, and then it's gonna scan right back up, okay? So pressing straight down along the torso, and then back. Yes, so close but not touching. Very good. And if it gets to be too much, don't send your legs as low, okay? You can reach them higher on the diagonal and send the stick a little higher. So you figure out where that is for you. Now again, we can be reaching under the foot bar, alternating over and under. Yes, you have to bring your heels to your sitting bones so that they can fit down and under. Okay, a few more times. The head, neck, and shoulders can be going with this as well. So good, you guys. Last one. Now you choose. I'm going to go over for this one, and I just want you to lower your legs a little, lift a little. So you can tap and set them on the bar for a second and lift up, or on the platform if you're below. 2, 1, and then lay down and relax. Whew, very good. All right, so next we're going to do tricep presses. So bring your elbows down next to you on the mat. Lift your legs up to tabletop one by one. Okay, so here we go. We're going to start going out and in. Yes, so same action of having to reach those legs long so that we have full range of motion with the stick. Okay, very good. Try to still keep wide collarbones. Choose where you want your challenge level of sending those legs. So good. We'll do a few more. Remembering we can be flexing the spine. 2. Now pick where you want to end up. I'm going to go beneath this time, and we're just going to run with the feet. Breathe in and breathe out. 4, 3, 2, and then lay down and relax. Whew. Amazing. All right, you guys, last one here. I want you to flip your grip so that you've got an underhand grip. Palms are facing you, thumbs are out to the sides. Okay, so now I want you to start with bent elbows, and we're just gonna do the reverse of those tricep presses. So the arms will go the same direction, but the palms are facing you. So it works our kind of forearm gripping muscles a little bit different. So we're externally rotated through the arm. So good. All the same rules apply of where you can send your legs, of maybe your head lifting and lowering. So good. We'll just do 3 more. Last 2, and I'm going to be so nice on this one. We're not going to hold and do any pulses. We'll just come down and relax. Whew. Amazing. All right, so next, have your straps a little bit wider than hip width apart, okay? And now we're gonna be getting our feet up onto the stick, okay? So you're gonna push out with your legs a little bit. You're gonna wrap your toes around the stick, kind of like we do with our leg and footwork when we do toes wrapping or bird on a branch kind of thing. So that gives you a good grip. If you want the stick more on the arches of your feet, if that feels more secure, you do that. Okay, so holding your ropes, we're just going to do little calf raises in the air. Now I want you to really grip with the ropes and pull with your arms. That's going to keep the strap from slipping around that stick, okay? So I'm pulling to keep the stick really snug in the strap as we do these little calf raises. So go slow, find a range where you feel stable here. Okay, good. Now let's start to prance and lift one heel up. Bend that knee as you drop the other heel. Good. Now move very slowly. Really pull on the ropes with the arms so that we don't feel wobbly or out of control at all. Okay, we're just waking up our feet and our calves a little bit. Very nice. Do that a couple more times. Pulling to keep that flush connection of the stick and the straps. Very good, you guys. Okay, so now get back to that wrapping the toes position with our heels slightly dropped. Get a tight grip. Now you can keep the hands on the ropes, or if you're feeling good, place them down. Spine is neutral, and we're just going to very slowly start to bend and stretch the leg. Inhale as the knees come to your chest. Exhale to push away. Good. Now, you don't want to bring the knees in so far that your low back collapses. Okay, so find where that is for you, that you can maintain that neutral. Very good. If you send the feet too low, you might lose your stick. Okay, so err on the side of having a nice upward diagonal line with the legs. Okay, 2 more times. So again, this brings this nice awareness and work for the feet. Yes, the muscles of the feet and the ankles, as well as giving us this stability challenge. All right, now pause with your legs long. You're going to inhale to float, exhale to lower. Good. Again, if you feel a little worried, you're welcome to hold the ropes. Okay, so very different than when our feet are in the straps. We have to be a lot more aware of what's going on down at the feet. Good. Let's do that 2 more times. Get that active hamstring stretch. Whew. Last one. Very good. All right, you guys. Now I want you to externally rotate so your heels are together and your toes are apart. Your inner thighs are squeezing. Now take a bend and a stretch here. So now my knees are going out wide, coming just beneath the ropes, and then we push away. Good. Inhale to bend. Exhale to press. Now to me, this one feels a little more stable since we have the feet attached to each other. That's just one more point of connection. So you can use that tight squeeze of your heels to fire up into those inner thighs. Yes, feel the ribs heavy. Good. Coming back to that relaxing breath pattern if we need it, of inhaling through the nose, exhaling out through the mouth. All right, now pause with your long legs, and we're gonna lift and lower in this turned out position. Whew, ton of work for the inner thighs and the hamstrings, and then lower. And it's okay if you get a little less range than maybe normal. Yeah, we have this extra factor of the stick to think about. Yes, so we walk around wearing shoes all day. Our feet muscles are kind of probably weaker than they could be. So if you feel your feet really getting tired, it's just a sign that this is good. This is what they need to work on getting stronger, okay? Last one. Whew. All right, grab the ropes. Oh, bend your knees a little bit for a second. All right, now I want you to move one foot to the center of the bar, wrapping the toes around it. The other leg is going to come up to tabletop as I reach the stick away. Good. All right, now this might not be perfect. You just don't want this leg bumping into the rope, okay? So bring it in enough that that's not happening. Now I want you to bend the leg with the stick, and the stick is going to come above the tabletop knee, and then it's going to push away. Good. Do that again. So you kind of lift the stick so the shin can sneak under it, and then you push it back away. And if you notice your stick really dipping, like mine isn't very level, if you notice it dipping to one side, just adjust your foot so it's closer to being level. Okay, now if this is enough challenge, much harder with one foot than with 2 feet, you stay here. If you're feeling pretty good, we're going to add another layer of that free leg bicycling forward and then coming back. This is a great one to hold on to the ropes if you need to. Very good. So I'm reaching my leg under the stick, but above the foot bar. Very good. Now for the last few, see if you can keep your leg straight. Whew, so now the stick is just kind of shaving up your shin, down your shin. That's it. So that stick is as close as it can be without touching. Whew, you can feel those abs working. So good. Last two. Lots of endurance for the front of this leg. Whew, last one. Very good. All right, let's switch sides. Ooh, feel that foot working. All right, so kind of see if you can hold your stick pretty level with the floor. It might not be perfect. All right, tabletop the other leg and then start bending and stretching. That's it. So your foot really just maintains this position. Yeah, we shouldn't be moving the ankle around too much. Yeah, we kind of lock it in to hold and control the stick. All right, now next layer to add, if you'd like, is to reach and then return. Yeah, so don't move on to a layer you're not ready for. If one is just the perfect amount of challenge, no more needed, then you stick with it. Ha, stick, stick, stick with it. Okay, now hold the leg straight and then continue. Good, bend and stretch, slow it down. Feel all the muscles around this hip, really hugging and supporting. Ooh, good, 2 more times. Get that free leg as straight as can be. Last 2. And last one. Oh, so good. All right, grab the stick, set the feet down on the foot bar. Whew. Amazing, you guys. All right, now you can leave the stick how it is in the straps. Just reach it back and rest it on the rails behind you, okay? Roll over to your side to bring yourself up. Awesome. Okay, so next, this is where that platform extender is going to come in if you have one. So we're going to bring our foot bars all the way down. And you want to drop down quite a bit lighter on your spring. So I'm going to get rid of my heavy spring, so I'm just on the single blue, my medium spring, okay? You might need a little more or a little less than that. So for me, since I have a platform extender, I'm going to cover my springs with it and put it right up against my platform, and we're going to be sitting on it. Now, if you don't have one of these, no big deal. Just sit on your platform, but you're probably going to want to grab something softer to sit on. So rolled up towel, some squishy mats, a cushion, something, okay? If you're sitting on the platform rather than an extender, you might need to do lighter springs because we're setting ourselves up further back. The springs will feel heavier, okay? So maybe your lightest spring would be a good place to start. So once you've got your stuff set up, grab your stick again and then sit yourself down to your seat. So feet on the floor, whether your reformer is high or low, shouldn't make much of a difference. Now, have your straps about shoulder width apart, kind of gripping with your thumbs to keep them in place. Now, I want you to stack up tall. Pretend like your back is up against a wall. So my ribs, my head, my shoulders are touching it. Now, as you breathe out, you're going to allow the ropes to pull your spine forward. Now, my pelvis is staying against that imaginary wall, but my head and shoulders and ribs come off of it, and then I reverse and roll back up to sitting. Do that again. So it's like a nice little assisted stretch. Feel the shoulder blades widen, draw the abdominals back and in, and then I roll back up in order from bottom to top. Very nice. Do that a few more times. You want your feet just wide enough that the carriage isn't going to rub along your calves too much as you go forward and back, okay? So let's do that 2 more times. Feels really nice. Feel those shoulder blades drawing in. Feel a gentle connection of them squeezing at the top, and then return. All right, now the next time you come up to sitting, stay vertical, and you're just going to row the stick to your chest and then slowly return it. Yeah, so try to get about the same tempo in both directions. Now, if this feels on the lighter side, that's okay. Don't worry, it's going to get more challenging in a second, okay? So we don't want to bump up the springs too much. Now, let's change up the timing slightly. So I want you to pull fast and hold it, and then return slow, slow, slow. Do that again. Pull and squeeze, and then slowly release. Whew, good. So giving us more time on that lengthening phase to return. That's it. Let's do 2 more. Pull and hold. Feel that squeeze at the back of the shoulder. Last one. Very good. Now we're going to put the forward fold together with that row of the arms. So I round forward, draw the abs into the spine. My carriage comes to the stopper, or almost. Now as I sit up, I'm going to bend my elbows to come up tall. Yes, so I'm inhaling and then exhale to pull. Whew. So a lot more demand, a lot more work for those muscles at the back of the body. Whew. Very good. And our legs are even working a little bit too, pushing into the floor and then lift. Now we'll do a couple more if you would like. When you row with the arms, also lift your chest and then fold over. Good. So we get that extra lengthening through the upper back. Feel a deeper connection to those lats and mid traps. Lift. Very good. Do that 1 more time. Now the pelvis stays still. The spine is moving around it. Whew. Very nice, you guys. Okay, come up tall. This next one is challenging, so try it, and if it's not happening, go back to just the regular arm pulls with the hips down. Okay, so I want you to have your arms outstretched, feet firmly planted, a little bit turned out. Now, you're going to retract the shoulder blades slightly, lean your weight back a touch. Now I want you to see, be careful and don't let your machine move. You're going to lift, or don't let it lift much. You're going to lift your hips off the whatever you're sitting on and place them back down. Do that again. Now, especially if your reformer is down low like mine, this is super hard because we're already starting in a deep squat. Okay, if this is too hard, ditch the stick and just do some regular standing squats in a less deep range of motion. That's an option, okay? Or just go back to the arm rows. We're only gonna do a couple of these, okay? Now, see if you can hold up at the top and do 3 pulls of the arm. Stay as vertical as you can. Once you're here, you can lean away from the ropes a little bit, find some counterbalance, and then sit back down. Let's do that again. Lift up, pull with the arms. 3, 2, 1. Amazing. And then lightly touch down. 2 more times. Come up tall, lean back, and pull and release. 2. Last one. And then touch. Good. If your reformer is higher off the ground, you won't be as far away from the extender as I am. Last one. And then set your body down. Amazing. Okay, take a little rest for a second. Ooh, that was a lot for the legs. All right, you guys, now we're gonna do some single arm pulls. So leave the straps how they are. They can come a little narrower together if you'd like. Now, put one hand in the center between those 2 straps. Other hand can go on your thigh. Okay, now the stick isn't gonna be perfectly centered with you. You're gonna pull your elbow out to the side and then return. This one is heavy because now we're pulling twice as much weight with this single arm. Very good. So the more wide you pull the elbow, the heavier this is going to feel. So that whole stick kind of drifts to the pulling side. Last one. Now reach the arms forward and twist away from your pull. Now as you bend your elbow, face back front. So I do half of a twist away from the stick and then I face front. So this one makes it a little easier. We get to use our obliques and that movement coming out of the twist to help us. Last 2 and last one. Oh, so good. All right, let's do that on the other hand. So we switch, we grab, here we go. You're gonna pull that arm as far to the side as you can and replace. Pull and replace. So good. And replace. Amazing, you guys. Very good. Okay, a few more here. Now when you're ready, once you pull with the arm, you're gonna rotate away and then face front. So I rotate away from that straightening arm and return. Plant the feet, heavy into the floor. 2 more. Last one. So good. All right, you guys, take one of the straps off of your stick and just place it on the ground. All right, so you're gonna grab your stick with the single strap on. You can remove your platform extender. We don't need it anymore. And then hold on to your stick, face your body carefully towards the foot bar with your feet back against the shoulder rest on your knees. Now, you're gonna grab on to your stick. So whichever side the rope is on, that hand is gonna grab over top so that the rope runs underneath my arm. And again, you can hook your thumb around it to keep the strap secure. And then the other hand just goes equal on the other side. Okay, now you're gonna lift the stick up so it's right in front of your chest, and we're just gonna do some super small half rotations here. Okay, it's gonna feel very light. We're just kind of warming up and priming up this action for what we're gonna do next. Now, if this doesn't feel good on your knees, you can do this sitting crisscross instead. Okay, we're gonna come up off our heels in a second though. So now, once you're facing front, I want you to straighten and bend your arms. Out, in, and then go into that half of a twist. Yeah, so the rope is pulling you into that rotation, and then it's up to the obliques to reach and rotate you back forward. Okay, now you have the option to pick your hips up when you reach the stick forward, sit down on the twist. Yes, so now factoring in more body parts, this makes the spring tension feel a little bit greater. So you're gonna feel more work for the pec and shoulder on the side that has the strap. Very good. Do that 2 more times. So obliques, abdominals, and then arms and glutes. Last one. Whew. and then relax. Very nice, you guys. Okay, now we're going to keep this same grip onto the stick, rotate towards the side where the rope is coming from, and you're going to tip your stick almost like it's a canoe oar, okay? So I've got my stick this way. Now I'm going to push with my bottom hand, flip that end of the stick up and forward, and then bring it back down. Yeah, so my top arm starts straight, my back one is bent, and then they're just going to switch places. I pull, bend the top elbow to come back and reach one tip of the stick forward and then replace and down. So it's exactly almost like a backward canoeing, like your oar was in the water. So I have one bent, one straight. They flip and switch. The bottom tip of the stick goes up. Good, few more. Now if you'd like, you can lift your hips to make the spring tension feel greater. So I take my oar out of the water like I'm flipping the water forward and then down. Two more, reach. Whew. Last one. Oh, so good. All right, last thing here, you guys. Take your hand and you're just gonna move it off so that you can grab underneath instead of over with this strap hand, okay? So I'm reaching under and kind of holding the strap in place from the bottom. Now, same grip with this hand. Now, instead of an oar in the water, we're gonna think like chopping wood with an axe. So I start rotated. I've got my axe up on my shoulder. Now, I'm gonna flip the sharp end of my axe up and forward, and then reverse it to flip back, okay? Now, it's okay if your strap moves around a little bit, just keep a hold of it with your fingers so you don't lose it, and it stays more or less in the same spot. Yes? Now, add your hips, lift, and then lower. So now I'm ending up with one tip of the stick higher than the other, and then sit. Good, rotate and chop. I pull the bottom end of the stick over, kind of under my armpit on the other side. Last one. Whew. And then relax. Good. All right, to finish it out, before we switch sides, turn and face the side that has the rope attached to the stick. Be about in the middle of your carriage on your knees. Hold with one hand on top, one hand below, kind of pinching the strap between your two hands. Okay, so now let's just take some rotations side to side. I breathe in and twist, breathe out and reach the other way. Good. So now for me, I have my hand that's closest to the shoulder rest on top, my other hand on the bottom. You can do the same or whatever feels good to you. Good. Now we're going to stir the pot, so a little more work for the shoulders. We're going to twist to the foot bar, reach the arms long, and then slow down the return, circling with straight arms. So I bend to reach through, circle around and in. That's it. Very good, you guys. So smoothing this out in the upper body and maintaining that stability in the lower body. Good. Now let's pause towards the pulleys with the arms straight and reverse it. So this one's a little harder on the obliques. We go around with straight arms, finish the circle with bent arms. Good. So I'm exhaling on that first half of the circle when the load is greater on the abdominals. Last two. And last one. Ah. Amazing, you guys. Okay, take this strap off and we're going to do all of that on the other side. So slide your new strap onto the stick. Now turn and face the foot bar. You want to have the stick in front of your body. Okay, the hand that's nearest the rope goes over top, so the rope is under the arm. Grab with your thumb, and then your hands are about shoulder width apart. Okay, so ribs over hips. Let's start with those real simple base level half rotations. Good. Now, if you ever want to feel your shoulders working a little bit more, you can pretend like you're trying to rip the stick apart by pulling out with your hands. Okay, the next thing we add is an extension of the arms forward and then twist and return. Reach. Yes, so the hands are level with each other to punch. A lot more work for the strap side, arm, and shoulder. Now we can add a lift of the hips and then we lower. Twist and squeeze the glutes. Good. Get right up off your heels right away and return. Let's do that 2 more times. Feel that nice deep twist. Look where you're rotating. Last one. Huh. Very nice. Okay, you guys. So now next we're going to do our little canoe in the water. Okay, so you can keep your grip the same. You're going to dip the strap end of your stick down. Your top arm straightens. Now you're just going to dig the bottom of your oar into the water, flip and reach the strap side higher, and then reverse to go down. So you grip that strap with your hand, however makes it feel the most secure, okay? You don't want it slipping out at the top. Reach. I just got my thumb kind of hooked around it on the bottom. That's it. So the free side starts high, ends up low. Very good. The strap side starts low, ends up high. That's it. Last one. So good. And then relax. All right, change your grip. So you're going to let go with the hand, feed it under the rope, grab back on so that the hand and the arm are underneath the rope. Okay? Now, grab back on, hook your thumb around the strap. Start with the free side high. Now we're going to chop the wood. Ready? So I've got both my thumbs pointing upwards with my grip. Now I'm going to press up and forward and then return. So you can start with your hips down if you want to get the movement of it. So I start with the bottom of the axe up, switch so the top is facing up. Now if you would like, we lift and then we lower. Whew. Up and forward. Yes, so just swinging the tip of the stick down. That's it. Last two. Good. Last one. Twist and press. Whew. So good. All right. Last thing here, we're just going to flip. So turn to the side where the rope is coming from. Stack your pulley hand on top, foot bar hand below, and you want your strap about centered in the middle of the stick. Okay, so we line the stick up with our nose and then we twist from side to side. So now this is a full twist. Yeah, in that last exercise we were doing half rotations. So finally a full one, side to side. Good. If this feels too easy, move your knees closer to the foot bar side of your carriage. If it feels too hard, move closer to the shoulder rests. Very good. Now let's stir the pot. So once we rotate, we end up with straight arms and then slow down the return. Very good. Bend and reach and then circle through. So nice, you guys. Good. So get as much range as you can, getting those arms long. Good. Now pause towards the pulleys and we'll reverse. Much harder on this one. We pull across with straight arms and then circle it in and around. Twist and then under. Try to keep the stick upright. Good. Last two. And last one. Whew. Amazing. Guys, so good. All right, take the strap off. Come down to sitting on your reformer. We're going to do a little stretch for our shoulders and then end with a little bit of a single thigh stretch. Okay, so just hold your stick out in front of you, maybe a little wider than shoulder width apart, and then pull out with the hands and just raise the stick up high. You can let the hands go behind the crown of the head to get a good stretch, and then come back down. Do that again. Lift up, take a big breath in. You can even lift your chest to the ceiling and then bring it down. Whew. Did a ton of work for the arms and the shoulders today. Yeah, so just giving them a nice little stretch. One more time. Take those arms as far behind you as you feel good about. Good. Now line the stick up with the crown of the head and take a side bend. Feel those lats stretch on the one side. And then go to the other side. Pull. Very good. One more time. Leave the legs nice and grounded. Very good. Okay, last little stretch for our shoulders. Now take the stick behind your back, palms are lifted. I'll turn this way so you can see me, but you can stay sitting where you are. Now, pull out with the hands and just press the arms as high up behind you as you can, and then lower down. So working on that mobility of the shoulders in this direction. Wider hands is going to be a little less intense on the stretch. Good. Now allow your body to fold forward to get a bigger stretch, and then come back up tall. Good. So you press back, fold, and then let gravity pull the arms overhead. Whew. Last two. Ooh, and then last one. Good, you guys. All right. Set your stick off to the side, and then we'll take our single thigh stretch. So bring your foot bars up. I'm gonna leave my springs on that really light blue medium spring just to get a little deeper stretch. You can go heavier if you'd like. So set up with one foot on the shoulder rest, other foot on the floor near the foot bar. Chest is lifted. Now, if you're on this light spring like I am, really feel connected to your core muscles and glide down slowly. And then inhale to return. Good. So you don't want to let go of your abs, otherwise it'll turn more into a low back stretch, which is not the goal. Good. A few more times. So squeeze the glutes, drive the hips forward, and open up that thigh. So good. Do that 2 more times. So we're trying to stretch out that line from knee through hip to shoulder. Last one. So good, you guys. Okay, walk over and do that on the other side. So new leg is back, other foot down, engage at the back of the hips already, and then we glide and then return. That's it. So keep the abs short and engaged to give that thigh the most opportunity to stretch. And these springs are so light, you don't actually need your hands down. That's just up to you if you want them. Kind of helps to check in with what's happening at your hips. So good. Last two. And then last one. Good. All right, you guys, I hope you enjoyed that workout using our maple pole. If you did, please give it a thumbs up. Leave me a comment down below if you have any feedback or requests for future videos. If you haven't already, please subscribe to the channel and share this video with a friend. And I'll see you next time. Bye.